Oh hey, welcome to the edition of hand-laid tracks and 3D printed trays with Socrates. Today we're looking at a 48-foot closed-top grain hopper. I always like these hoppers, they're real common in America. And this is a two-piece, the top is a separate piece, clips on the top there, and the bottoms have my standard microtrain couplers on the bottom. So it's a nice little print. Little details on the ends there as well. Little canister there because you got to have a canister somewhere. And basically it's a little end gauge 3D printed closed top hopper. So I printed three of them at this point in a row as a group. And I add my own little flanges on the inside and the outside. It helps stick the edges down because it's a pretty thin wall. I don't like the brim because I kind of just prints around it, but I meld my own little shapes and they work better. They kind of pull off. If it's printing properly, it pulls off pretty cleanly, but it helps hold the rim down enough that you can still have a thin wall and still not have it lift off the edges as well. And that's most the goal. And like all my trains, I use the microtrains couplers and the probe off of a multimeter. And in this case, I was pulling the trucks off an old car because I don't have but so much space over there. So I was pulling off some old trucks off and basically use the same little flat screwdriver to kind of pry them off and lift them off. And I was going from the larger pin to the smaller pin. And so I'm putting new pins in. And basically you jiggle-jaggle the probe with the pin in what looks like proper place. And you can kind of feel it line up and then pretty much push down. So that's why I do it with the lids off so it's nice and flat on the surface, because you do kind of put a fair bit of pressure into it. And then you just use that little screwdriver to make sure it's loose and make sure that the wheels flop back and forth, because if they don't flop, it's going to derail. So you just use the screwdriver just enough to loosen it. And the way these things print, like I say, I print my own little rim around it. And if it's I want to make it so it's not loose for sure. So you might have to clean off the edge just a little bit, either on the car or on the lid, whichever you feel like, and then it should snap on. And like I said, that's another car with the extra brim around the side that helps it to print. You can get it with or without it. It's labeled SUP in capital letters if it has my own supports. That's a nice 48-foot grain closed hopper. So that's how you put it together. 48-foot closed top hopper, grain car, microtrains couplers on the bottom. Get the STL on Colts, get yourself a car, runs pretty good. Thanks for watching, check it out next time. Hand-laid Tracks doesn't have a theme song, should have had a theme song, could have had a theme song, but Hand-laid Tracks still doesn't have a theme song. Hand-laid Tracks doesn't have a theme song, should have had a theme song, could have had a theme song. Hand-laid Tracks still doesn't have a theme song.